The reason why Katz, the defense minister, said what he said was to get them to stop bombing the civilian centers. Now, I firmly believe that every decision has repercussions or consequences, and that applies to both sides. So if you initiate something, you have to be prepared for the consequences of both sides. So if you initiate a nuclear program, you have to be willing to live with the consequences. And if you attack a nuclear installation, you have to be prepared for the consequences. So Israel is living through the consequences right now. And I think what Katz is trying to do was to threaten them in a way that they would stop bombing Tel Aviv. And that was the reason why he made those statements. So, Jack, I'm answering your question as best I can.
No, that's fair. And yesterday, after he said those statements about the Iranian or the residents of Tehran will pay the price, I saw today that there was evacuation orders sent out to some residents or some. I can't tell you the exact region of Iran or how many people or anything like that, but I saw the Israelis sent out evacuation orders. So I believe they're going to start attacking some of those residential buildings that belong. I'm wondering, like, are they, like, is the justification purely a revenge thing, or is it?
No, I think
there's an IRGC guy
stop.
who owns an apartment there. Also, we'll just consider that the one.
I think it's to cut down on the incoming ballistic missiles. And as far as I can tell, I have to do a spreadsheet. I think the number of missiles is declining on a daily basis. So hopefully they stop, and Israel will be done with what it needs to do, and this will be over. I hope this is a very short-term thing. Less than 3 weeks, 2 weeks, something like that. This drags on longer than that, and I think it's difficult for both sides.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be. If this goes on more than 3 weeks, it'll be bad for both Iran. I think obviously Israel, because they have American backing and stuff, they can kind of do this for a long time, but they can do it longer for Iran, also longer than Iran can, I would say, because just the resources and everything. The only thing Israel has to really worry about is domestic support for this kind of operation.
Even the opposition parties, the far left opposition parties.
Yeah.
The country has come together like in a way that I have not seen in a very long time. But that, doesn't hold forever.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes, it just depends on how things are going, right? If there's massive attacks on Tel Aviv out of nowhere and, casualties are going through the roof, I think you would have different support than the day before, but
you don't see people demonstrating in the streets. That's what I would look for in terms of
but the Iranian government, they don't really have to worry about domestic support for this, right?
I don't know. I can't answer that question.
It doesn't seem like they're really asking for permission from anyone.
Bro, they can barely handle 3 days in the bunker. They're gonna come out soon, I promise you. They're not gonna take this. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing too. Israelis are used to a different kind of life, so.
What's really interesting for me is that there's a global survey of happiest countries, which Finland, for some reason, Finland is the happiest country in the world. Not sure why. I have to go visit it and find out why, but they're the happiest. And these psychologists do this and ask certain questions to a broad group of people enough to get an understanding of happiness. Israel is number 4 or 5, consistently, which is, given all the stress that goes on from everything.
It's the delusion, man.
It's not delusion. It's not.
If you can be the 4th happiest country with what you're doing, you're delusional as fuck, man. Borderline mental ill.
Wonder, though, that's an interesting stat, because I do wonder, like,
It's
Is there a correlation? You know.
They measure it by the way, GDP.
no, it's not have nothing to do with GDP. It is completely.
No, it is. I've looked into this. I promise you. It's they look at GDP, if I'm not mistaken, life expectancy and health factors, and then like freedom.
That's
of
not
the
the
people.
survey I'm talking about. The survey I'm talking about is psychological happiness.
Are you talking about the UN World Happiness Report, where Finland
No.
was fourth?
Nope.
I mean, Finland was first, and Israel was fourth.
No, there's several different organizations that do this. You can,
Oh, okay. It's not the UN, then I don't know.
no. It's not tied to GDP. It's tied to psychological well-being, and it's talked about. It looks toward. I don't want to get too far off straight because we're here to talk to Ahmed. It talks about all the factors that go into someone's, sense of comfort and happiness. So.
Yeah.
Let's just hope it's over soon. I'll go back to that.
Yaakov, who is a happy person?
What?
Who is a happy person?
A happy person is someone who can live their life without threat. They can pursue their goals. They have the resources to pursue their goal, meaning there's nothing in the way, meaning there's no limits. It's just solely based on someone's ambition. Government is not, onerous and rules and regulations, that someone can pursue their dreams anywhere. This is
So
not
no
like
Israel,
a Western.
basically.
What?
So no Israel preventing all this shit.
I'm talking about, this is a state of mind that has nothing to do with any particular country, Fatty.
All of the things you just said are prevented by Israel for a certain group of people. So I'm just saying that ties into their happiness or lack of happiness.
I'm answering Ahmad's question. What does it mean to be happy? Okay? I'm not tying it to a country. No need to talk about Israel. I'm answering his question. Does that make sense, Ahmed?
Yeah. I'm thinking about this. I was talking to myself. So, what's the use of this? All throughout the history, people were fighting each other in this region. And I'm reaching this conclusion that there will be war always, and human can do nothing about it. So why am I right now myself concerning myself with the news of war? What will happen if I do not think about war at all? And I ignore the war news. Would I be a happier person?
Ahmed, I have to go to the doctor's, so I'm going to be listening. I'm going to drive. Maybe it'll sync to my car. My mic will work. But it's very nice to talk to you. I wish you to be safe and prosperous. My friend.
Thanks.
Thanks for coming in. He came in. I asked him to come in. We were talking on the WhatsApp phone before this room, Jack. Thank you very much for the time.
Yeah, dude. Anytime. I was actually gonna ask you something, Ahmad, if you're gonna hang around for a bit, but
He's usually very generous with his time, so I'm just asking.
yeah. Speaking of happiness and stuff, are people still happy like around you? I mean, with everything that's going on, are people like, I want to leave Iran, I don't want to live here, or are they like, I never want to leave it, I love this place, even with the bullshit that goes on?
I think lots of people who I met are somehow depressed. They cannot plan for their future. Their future is not clear and so vague. They say, what business should I follow? What should I do? Even the factory owners, the business owners, they are confused. I'm working in a factory as a part of my military service. So since in Iran you can do this, so it's about to be finished. But even the factory owners, they are confused. They don't know what to do. They think that they have invested in the wrong place. They could have invested in another country that had more security.
I got you. Okay. By the way, if anyone in the audience wants to come up or ask him anything, or in the chat, I'll read it to him.
Can I ask the last question before I go?
Yeah.
It's getting to it. Ahmed, how many classes, economic classes, are there in Iran? Is it just a lower class and a really rich class? Are there 3 classes, 4 classes? How many classes are there?
I personally know people who are earning more than $30,000 a month, and people who are earning about $100 a month. That's the social.
Yeah. $100 a month, man.
Yes,
What about
isn't that the problem of every developing country in the region? In terms of disparity, there is no middle class. Middle class has not developed in many countries over the years,
That is
and
correct.
Iran is one of them.
Yes.
There is. I don't see any middle class in many developing countries in the region.
That is my understanding. That's why I asked the question. I wasn't sure about that.
That's very typical of that kind of economy. So you have no middle class in those countries, and they tend to take a very long time to develop a middle class. And it's I always look at it. It's the result of corruption, pretty much, and it's always government corruption.
Yeah.
So you're saying that $30,000 people are the government and people related to the government?
Non-private companies that provide facilities and services for the government.
General, you were gonna say something.
I was just going to say a lot of these economic issues would, if they came to an agreement with America and by extension Israel, everyone, I mean, this is the unfortunate looming question at the back of everyone's heads. You're a Persian, right? You grow up in these sort of conditions. Is it really worth all the okay, your government tried to build this sort of geopolitical empire with Hezbollah, Assad, and Ashtashabi. What's it all come to? Hezbollah finished, basically. Ashtashabi, I mean, it's literally just an angry Trump phone call away from destruction. And you're getting sanctioned to hell and back for a war that doesn't directly concern your people. But most people, I mean, I see why Ahmed says that, all of this is kind of for what, right? I mean, yeah, you can blame sanctions, but then do the people themselves care enough about why the government is getting sanctioned? You're Iranian, you really want to fight for Arab causes?
They're not really fighting for Arabs. That's the thing. They're fighting because their country's trying to build nuclear weapons, right?
Yes, but why is it trying to build nuclear weapons? Because it has relations with the West and, well, the Israeli masters. Why does it have hostile relations with the West and Israel? Well, because it backs these groups. Turkey, used as authoritarian, as Iran, has a big religious undercurrent in its politics, is as much as a pariah as Iran, but they have nukes because they are coming with America and to a lesser degree with Israel.
Wait, did you say Turkey has nukes?
Yeah, no, but that's part of NATO.
It does, yeah, but it doesn't have nuclear missiles.
Yes, that's true, but this actually no.
Part-
No, there are no.
Part of NATO, being part of NATO just gives Turkey. If someone invades Turkey, all of NATO responds.
No, but there are nuclear missiles stationed in Turkey.
Yeah, but they're not under the control of the Turkish government.
Yes, but still, it gives them a high degree of protection. Right? If
Okay, fair enough.
regardless of like whether it's just about the nukes or more so, which is what I really think it is about, their anti-American politic. If Iran were to come to some sort of entente with the U.S., a lot of the pressure on them would be relieved.
Completely agree. Completely agree.
Yo, bro, I was in a room with an Israeli now, and these guys are so deluded at this point. Like, he's saying Hezbollah was doing more damage than fucking Iran right now. What do you guys think?
That's laughable.
Wait, say that again. Say that
Well,
again.
hold on. Can I give a counterpoint to that?
It is such a cult. It's cult.
Yeah, I mean,
Wait.
listen, there's some
They-
cases
they-
you can make for the north of Israel having to
They completely emptied out the north of Israel. That was an enormous economic and social impact for the entire north of Israel.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I just think overall, this is such like hardcore copium because it's like we can all see what's happening. See, and the thing is, I find it to be offensive because when you mislead people with these lies out of hope and desperation, you're actually damaging.
Well, how do we quantify it? Shut up,
Right
normal. Rabbi,
Because
can you repeat? Can you?
You guys are
Shut
talking
up,
about money. by
Rabbi.
lying.
Rabbi,
Don't
please.
shut up. You shut up.
Rabbi, please, can you just repeat what you said when
The
you
Jew
just
is
walked in?
talking. Shut your mouth.
I said that they're basically they are damaging me with these lies because now
Why?
you're telling people that there's nothing off because you know you have your ego and all that. But you can shut your ego up your ass.
Oh, okay, I get it. How do we quantify? Right now we're up to 30 dead. They should rescue
Jack,
people.
move this
Because
cunt.
when you tell
30.
people, the only quantification I care about is how it reflects on my portfolio. And when you tell people that there's nothing off here, then they're no longer investing in oil manufacturing and fucking weapon
Okay,
manufacturing, and that's costing me money. As far as
Okay,
I'm
this is
concerned,
not, this is
that is
this
immoral.
is not about investing, Randy.
Huh?
No,
It's not about
you
investing. Come on.
were
We're talking
quantifying the damage done by
Yeah,
Hezbollah versus
Who
Iran.
cares how many of you motherfuckers die? What I care about is my money, and you guys
Okay.
are costing me money.
But this is
Hold-
the
hold on.
conversation.
Time out. This room is about talking to Ahmed, who's on the ground in Iran. Unless
Oh,
Ahmed
good.
is left, I don't believe he has. If anyone has questions.
Okay, can you just check CVE? That's oil, and it went down 1%.
Yakov, you're in the matrix. Also, Jack.
It literally went down 1% today because of your lie.
Okay.
It went down 1% just today, when it should be going
Yeah,
up.
Yakov,
So I'm
you're in
wondering,
the
why do you
matrix.
guys lie?
What was the lie?
You're lying to people about the reality on the ground to satisfy your ego with all
What
the
is the
focus.
lie?
But in the end, you're costing me money, and the way I see it, the only reason you exist is to make me money. So
What
I would
is the
suggest
lie?
you motherfuckers get out of the bunkers and get out there and make us that money. Instead of
We're only-
sitting here and lying to people about the reality. You are pissing me off because this is the second percent I
You're
lose today.
trolling. You're trolling.
This is the second percent that I lose today, and I'm not gonna go for the third one. So I would suggest you motherfuckers start making us money as well.
What are you
he's
gonna do
an
about
upset
it?
shareholder, guys. Let's be honest.
You guys are trolling yourselves.
Can
right
you
now.
tell me I don't have the right to be upset when these guys mislead the public?
Be as upset as you want. I'll bake you a cookie.
Well, Iran will bake your ass. So get out
Okay,
of the fucking
we're
bunker and make
waiting.
us money, nigga.
Normal,
get ready
see
for
what
the
happens. Yeah. We only go into the bunker when their stupid missiles come and miss, by the way, for the most part.
Not a bunker.
Yeah, again, that's the copium. They're literally frying your ass.
Iranian TV.
They have
Who's frying?
hypersonic. Stop lying.
I think you
Who's
should
frying?
send your investments to Iranian TV.
Stop lying to yourself. They have fucking
Iranian
hypersonic.
media.
Yeah, and what about the hypersonic?
They can actually land
There
it
was
back.
anyway.
When's that gonna happen?
It was a failed.
We
ballistic.
saw it. What you guys are hardcore deluded. It's crazy.
No,
About
they just
what?
had a failed ballistic to Northern
What's the
Israel.
delusion?
It's a total
Oh
failed
my god.
ballistic.
Anyways, are you gonna start making us money, or are you gonna bitch and moan and like cry and lie about the reality as it is? How about
I
you
don't
fight
know.
Iran?
The reality
How about you fight
is
them?
that
we're doing.
the mullah is just a.
Well, you need to up your game, and I'm telling you, how about you guys actually call on fucking Netanyahu to buy more American weapons? Because I do see Lockheed Martin isn't going up as much as it should.
Jack,
Okay.
please. Jack, please.
Okay, so how about you go and fucking buy American weapons?
Yeah, I
Otherwise,
think
don't
it's
ask us
evolved
for fucking
from-
tax dollars to support your genocidal regime. We're gonna let the
Okay.
Iranians
This
genocide
gives
your ass and let them start buying our
an
shit.
opportunity to see how this it's not just them who's disorganized. This is,
No, I think these guys don't see the relationship going on here. I don't think they understand who they work for.
Randy is trolling everybody in this room right now.
I'm not trolling anybody. I'm telling you,
Yes,
you guys
you
are costing me because
What's
you're
this guy's
lying.
name? Randy? Is this guy's name Randy?
Randy McDickerson is his other.
He should show and go get himself a shag if he's Randy.
Well, how about you eat my ass and make me money?
Okay, Jack, let's get back to talking to Ahmed, please.
Yeah, Ahmed, what's
I'm
happening?
not sure. Does anyone have any more questions for Ahmed?
If they don't, then great. But if
you
they
guys
are,
do,
we can use this time.
Did he flee Tehran? Everybody
I've got a
flee
question
Tehran.
for
Not the book up, no.
No, he lives
Did
in
he
Hamadan.
flee Tehran?
He lives in Hamadan, which is the former Sultan, Norm.
I don't think they're
Thank
the ones
you.
running away. Anyways, they're not the ones making us money. I'm not expecting Ahmed to make me money. I'm expecting you to make me money.
All right, Randy, you want to block all conversation?
No, I'm just saying that I have no expectation of him. But
We're
you
gonna
did,
do
yeah,
a conversation.
you did
Now can
disappoint.
we hear from him? It's very funny. Your whole position is very funny.
My whole position is that you
How
guys.
much money do you want,
I
Rabbi?
think that's just
Someone
laughing
gives
about
him
his
some
position
money.
as himself.
Let him.
If Trump had a backbone.
Wait, what, Ahmed? What, Ahmed?
I say, please, someone gives this poor guy Rabbi some money and let him go. He needs some money.
Yes, compensate me for the
Oh my
2%. Compensate me for it.
Wait, real quick, Rabbi, just a second. If anyone on stage or in the audience has a question for
Zach, I've
Ahmad,
got a question for you.
for me?
Yeah.
Actually,
Okay, I'm the star of the show today. Go ahead.
Yes, seeing the position that you see Iran in right now and what Israel has done to deal with Iran, have you changed your position somewhat to your views on the Palestinians and the future of the Palestinians?
Oh, man.
Well, this is how I view what Israel has done to Iran and then how it relates to us. So, Israel's first strike on Iran, I forget how many days ago, Friday?
Thursday.
Yeah,
Okay.
Friday
Yeah, that
the
one
13th. Yeah,
That was like, that specific military operation was super extreme show of power by Israel and capabilities. The surgical nature of their attack, everything was impressive about it to me, except obviously the collateral damage was sad, of course, of people who died. But the way that they targeted these guys from apartment building to apartment, we know where all these chief of staff and the scientists, I mean, it really exposed Iran's lack of security as well, and how the Mossad had a fucking drone operation in their own country. Like, it exposed a lot about Iran. But in contrast, the way Iran responded super powerfully too, I thought that was pretty impressive, and I don't think we've seen the extent of their power yet. The Israelis did catch them off guard, it seems, even though I felt like the Iranians should have known what was coming because many people expected it. And how it relates to the Palestinians, it doesn't surprise me. Like, nothing that's happened between Iran and Israel has like changed my view, because I've already thought Israel was the regional superpower, and you know, they have nuclear weapons and all this shit, right? Like, I've known what they could do to Palestinians. I was surprised what they could do to people 2,000 miles away, but I still think Israel, it's kind of unsustainable how it is today. It won't last the way it does today, like as an apartheid state or a genocidal state. But yeah, definitely a huge show of force that was extremely impressive, I guess, on a military level.
Right. And when you say there's apartheid, is there any place where there's apartheid?
No, 1 second. Because the reason why I asked that question is because I see two things happening here. First of all, I see the Palestinians, and maybe the view of the Palestinians, changing pretty quickly. Got a phone call. Shit, I'm going to come back to this. I'm going to take this call. Sorry, I'll be back.
Okay.
I actually had a question for Ahmad.
Jack,
Ahmad, are you there?
Jack, thanks for the room.
Yeah. Go ahead, General.
Ramadan is
I
being
have to
attacked.
go.
Hamadan
Ramadan
is
is
being
attacked.
Stay
I
safe,
have
brother.
to-
Hopefully, you know,
Okay.
take whatever precautions you can. Talk to you later, but
Ahmed, my friend. Oh,
he's in
What
a
did you-
rush.
what did
He's
you-
in a rush.
wait, General, what did you say? What was your last
No,
statement?
because yes, he's Hamadan is being attacked. That's why he has to go.
It has like no military anything. It's,
Well,
Are you sure?
yeah, it's pretty much a cultural capital.
that's
How
I
would
mean,
you
that's
know?
what he told me. Because I speak to Ahmed, excuse me, on a regular basis. I met him on Clubhouse 3 years ago.
Right.
We've talked over WhatsApp and other things. He finally got a VPN so he could come in because they're filtering the internet
Right.
much heavier than they used to. So, yeah, I know about that city, and, there's not a lot of stuff going on around it.
But yeah, cool.
Right,
You
what
see
did you-
how this
What
is
did you look at
made-
that tells you about this?
Let General get a word into it.
Yakov, you see how this is gonna make non-Iranians just like rally around the regime, right? Because
Actually, they're demonstrating against the
Let
regime
him-
right now.
Holy fuck.
let
Holy
General-
fuck.
Yeah, I guess. General,
This is just a hardcore delusional.
Hold on, yes, I agree.
Hold on. Wait,
They're
just a second,
hardcore
guys.
delusional, and they keep lying to themselves.
Rabbi, come on, don't do this.
Well,
General was
possibly,
asking. Wait, bro. General was asking Yakov a question.
And,
Norm wanted to get in after, then John.
I have a few minutes. I agree with you. There are two potential outcomes. It could push the Iranian people to support the regime, or option B is it could push the Iranian people to overthrow the regime, and maybe there's a third one where they're just indifferent. Ahmed was spending a lot of time before he came into the room saying people are like sheep, and in Iran, that was his personal point of view, and he's not sure that it's going one way or the other right now. But
Well, you see,
it definitely changed.
yeah,
I agree with you.
that was why I wanted to ask him, because he said people were like sheep, right? He really has a more anti-regime sort of view, but he acknowledged most of the people in Iran are like sheep. So they're just going to listen to whoever provides answers. Now, however one wants to slice and dice the specifics of the facts, right now Iran is getting bombed by a foreign nation, as Israel, into, as you mentioned, areas that there are no military installations.
Well, he didn't know of it. There's an air base there, actually. I'm looking at it now.
Why
Yeah,
do
I
we
mean,
even
there's
have
an air
this?
base.
Why
Hold on. Norm.
There's an air base there.
That's a
Norm.
bunch of helicopters.
Guys,
There's an air base.
Norm, we heard you 5 times. You
Okay.
literally.
Okay, so don't keep repeating stupidity.
Shut up.
Relax.
Norm, shut the fuck up. You have the opportunity to speak right after they're done talking. Why wouldn't you
Get a
just wait?
fucking stroke already, man. We're done
Just
with you.
wait. Let him finish.
I'll
the
stroke you, my friend.
Anyway, as I was saying, the facts of it are Iran is getting bombed by Israel. The regime is going to give an answer, which is that, look, these people are attacking us, they're killing us, and we will fight them back on behalf of you. People are like sheep, as Ahmad says, and I do believe most people are like sheep. Most people do listen to what their government says. There's only one direction that the majority of the people are going to go into. If even Iranian diaspora that are like educated, liberal, leftist are becoming more and more anti-Israel, and they are, just because they don't like what's happening to their people. The average person in Iran is just going to be like, yeah, death to Israel, death to America.
Yeah,
Can
I gotta
say
run.
something
I'm going in.
quick?
Hold on. I'm going into.
So this is what we're
doctor.
gonna do. We're gonna let Yakov respond to General, and then we'll let Norm go.
Yeah,
But
very,
what
brief,
about Rabbi?
And then,
very briefly.
Rabbi before
Yeah, Rabbi before
Yeah,
Norm.
yo, guys, come
Okay.
on.
I've got to run into a doctor's appointment very briefly. Yeah, that's a possibility. It was interesting. We were talking earlier. Iran International, which is a major dissident information site on Telegram and other news outlets, is doing an interview with Netanyahu later today, I think. So they'll be getting multiple streams of information. The question is which coalesces in their minds and which drives them in which direction. So the situation is fluid. I wouldn't predict anything at this point. I'll shut up now because I have to walk into a doctor's office. Take care, everybody. Jack, thanks for the run.
Yeah, no problem. Norma, you're up, and then Rabbi.
Well, we said Rabbi first.
No, Rabbi Wennerman. So,
It's Rabbi's
you know,
turn.
it's very weird that
Okay,
people
stop.
keep repeating. It's very weird that people keep repeating nonsense. We seem to have complete dominance of Iranian airspace. I've seen no confirmed reports that a fighter jet is down. We're taking out their military assets at will, which must be the shock of the lifetimes for what's left of the Iranian leadership, and I can see there's very little left. I can't even keep track of all the sites that we've hit, while we're telling civilians to flee to avoid any negative effects. I don't know how many dead over there. I think I heard 128 in Iran, and we have, I think we're up to 30 in Israel, just to see if it's relevant. And everything, so, I mean, Israel seems to be, we haven't even given them everything we have yet. It's only day 3. So I don't know if regime change is the goal. It seems to be the unspoken goal. I'm seeing demonstrations. The Iranian people have been wanting this Iranian genocide regime out for decades, and maybe it's the beginning of that. I do see demonstrations.
So bored. I love you.
Normally we're in the Matrix. No one heard you, so Rabbi, go ahead.
Fadi,
Wait.
it's just your cheap phone. It's just your cheap phone, Fadi.
Real quick, Norm, if you could do me a favor, you said there was demonstrations. If you could post a link in the chat.
I'm not going to bother. You can find them. They came up on my feed.
He's too old.
Go ahead, Reza.
Look, I love El Normo. He knows that. I love you like my child. But the truth of the matter remains that you're giving an emotional speech. Now,
About what?
About this whole thing.
About your mother.
Oh,
No, I didn't mention my mother.
Hold on a second. There's no one interrupting you.
I mentioned what we did to Iran.
I speak, man.
I am. Don't mischaracterize what I said.
El Normal.
Yeah, I'm El Normo.
El Normo, stop interrupting, please. You know I love you like my child, but the truth of the matter, when you say the genocidal regime of Iran, one could easily say the genocidal regime of Israel.
Would you be wrong?
I would rather you. That's your belief, which is fine.
No, that's the facts.
No, the fact is that I don't care about moral arguments. Moral
I
arguments.
understand.
God bless Israel, man. Israel is decolonizing the Middle East from Arab terrorism.
Fucking idiots. Yo, it's Rabbi's turn to
Arab
speak.
colonization. Tony, shut up, man.
Fucking jackass, bro.
Can you move them? Amazing. Okay. So, my fact, you have your own facts, it seems. My fact is that I don't care about any moral arguments. All moral arguments are null. I don't care. I wipe my ass with your moral arguments. I feel like we're talking about the wrong things here, and I feel like there's a big disconnect between expectations and roles. Okay? I feel
All you had to say was that it doesn't matter.
Can you shut this thing down?
Shut up.
Where's the mic control, man? Where the fuck
I
is it?
feel like there's a huge disconnect, and you seem to forget who you work for. And when we fund you, there's a reason why we fund you. So you can say I'm trolling, I'm not. Today, you cost me 2% on oil, and you cost me about 4% on defense stocks. And we're not funding you for nothing. What I'm telling you is, you're being funded to give us not only a positive, but also an impressive ROI. And if Trump had any backbone, he would fire you losers. Because as far as I'm concerned, instead of sitting in your fucking tunnels, you should go out and fight Iran. And what's his name? Yaakov can't tell the future, but I can. What you need to do is push fucking faggot-ass Netanyahu to hit their fucking oil infrastructures, so that they close Hormuz. Okay?
Well, we hit them yesterday.
Not enough. Up your game, son. We need Hormuz to close. Because 20% of the oil goes through that. Okay? We're hiring you. When we fund you, we're hiring you.
Who's funding us again? Canada?
Do your damn job. I'm invested in American stocks. Do your damn job. We're hiring. We're paying tax dollars to hire you, faggot, so that you make us money. Okay? Which means
Canada?
it doesn't matter if you die. You make us money. That's your role. So get it done.
Okay. Thank you. Very confusing.
Really good analysis, Rabbi. Thank you.
Oh, very good.
Okay.
This is the
Doesn't
truth.
make any
This is the
sense.
truth.
Anyone want
Now,
to rebut
one last thing is when you lie to people because you're deluded and you want it to seem like everything is normal, you're making us losses. You're not making us money.
What was the lie again?
When you lie and say that everything is normal.
Who said everything was normal? We're at war.
Israel is under unprecedented attack. Okay?
It was precedented in 1948.
There wasn't
Okay,
nothing
we
like
also-
this, honestly.
Cook it the way you
Yeah,
want
it was
to cook
exactly
it.
like this.
Cook
You
it the
don't
way
know
you
much
want to
about
cook
it.
it. Your behavior is not making us money.
Yeah.
I don't care. You're talking to someone who doesn't care. I don't care how many people you kill. I don't care how many
It was like wrote this in 1973.
Okay, I don't care. You're talking to someone who doesn't. All I understand is numbers.
Okay.
Okay.
If you don't understand, you don't
Up the
understand.
fucking game and make them close Hormuz. Remember who you work for.
Right. We work for the Jews.
The Jews work for us. That's why we fund them.
Who is us? The Canadians.
Rabbi,
Space state of the United States of America. And if Trump had the
But
backbone,
you're not an American.
if Trump had the backbone, I have more American capital than Americans. If
Okay.
Trump has a backbone,
That doesn't mean you're
fire
American.
you faggots. Because you're not making us money. You're a very low return on investment. In fact, you're negative
Yeah.
so far.
Do you know the Israeli economy quadrupled in the past
I don't
20 years?
care
or
about the
more?
Israeli economy. We're looking to make money.
Okay.
Yes,
Right.
we fund you so that you make us money. Understand that.
Okay. Who's we? Who funds us?
This becomes a cringe conversation. What are we doing? Like,
Well,
stop.
it's cringe. As soon as you walk in the room, you're cringe.
Your mom is cringe.
Oh, my mom. Oh, okay. Thank you for explaining that. That's good material, by the way.
You're about to get a butter.
That's some funny shit.
You're about to get a little
But I
butter.
think
What's about to get better?
I think
Holland is going to attack us.
What I'm saying is very clear, dude.
You
People are funding you with their tax dollars. We are
Buildings are collapsing.
I'm not
which
expecting return
building?
from Iran. I'm not
Twin
expecting
Towers, the other building in Tel Aviv.
Which building?
The building with your mom in it.
What? No, my mom is not in a building.
Shut 'em up.
Maybe it's you don't have one, so maybe you don't understand what a mom is.
We do play a role play with your mom.
Oh, do you?
This is cringe and it's not conducive to anything.
Anyway.
What role do you play?
Tel Aviv. is
What
not
role do you
really,
play, Ludwig?
Tel Aviv
You
is
play
not
the
really-
you play the
Tel
dumb
Aviv.
one that wipes her butt.
Blah blah blah. You
Blah,
know,
blah,
that's
blah,
why
blah.
you're stressed.
I beg your pardon.
Yes,
I'm not
right.
stressed at all. So
There was a.
what missile did you see?
We've seen them.
What missile did you see?
The hypersonics. We've seen them.
Yeah, what missile did you see?
It's done.
What missile? Again, Aviv, what did you see? Tell the room.
I've seen many things. I've seen. them
Okay, so
walking
say
in
one. Say one.
A hypersonic missile.
So-
many of them.
Okay, what happened? And what did the hypersonic missile
And
do?
then I saw a woman on the ground. She was an Israeli woman. She said, "This feels like I'm in Gaza." She was.
Right.
on
So
the ground.
one woman saw
No, not one
was
woman,
bombed.
not one
I get you.
Not one
You
woman.
just said you saw a
Not
woman.
one woman.
Yeah, you want to wait, Aziz, give me a second, I'll play it for you. He speaks Hebrew, right? Here it is.
Oh, wait. How long is this clip?
Man, you're wasting your time
10
to listen to
seconds,
someone
yeah.
who
10
doesn't
seconds.
Especially for
Everyone
the
can see
El
these things. Go on X. Everyone can see
Yeah,
these
everyone
things.
Here it is, El
What do you
It's
see?
the way you're playing this game by wasting your time. Yeah, Habibi. We're
Tell
not
us what
looking
you
to
see.
defend
Yes,
Iran or
Habibi.
Israel. We're looking to fucking make money. Do you understand that?
Yeah. I think you just want to disrupt the
El Mastro, here it is.
No, and I think that you
Wait,
think people
what-
here
what
are
is this?
for Israel or
What is
Iran.
this
No one
done?
here cares about either. We care about our child.
So you
Let's
saw
play
a
the
woman
audio.
who got
Let's play
hurt?
the audio.
That's what you have? Right. So you saw a woman. We told us
You
already.
hear the audio, Norman, or are you just going to
We
keep
heard it. We heard it. You guys don't speak
No,
Hebrew.
you said you didn't hear it, so we want to hear it.
No, you heard it. There's an upset woman. I hear you.
Go save her, man.
There's something I want to
Why am I
bring
gonna
up.
do that?
Actually, there's
Go
some.
save her, the building's
I don't
collapsing in Tel Aviv, man.
Alright,
Right.
You can
I'm
make
gonna
it,
mute the room. I'm gonna mute the room real quick. Something I want to bring up that I've seen in the news. So in Iran, they have a parliament, right? And they have representation from all their different groups, including, I think they have like a 10,000 population of Jewish Iranians. And they have representation in the parliament. There's an MP a Jewish MP in the Iranian parliament.
All of which is regarded as fake because they have a supreme leader that's a Muslim that just runs the whole
Wait, just a
country.
second. Well, no, it's more nuanced than that. But basically, his name is Hamiyan Sameh, and he said he supports Iran's right to self-defense against Israel, and Iran must have a strong response to Israeli
Or else they
aggression.
kill him, right?
He was just a second. He was also the same Jewish MP that praised Iran's attack on Israel. in
Right. Or else they'll
2024.
kill him.
What do you mean?
In other words, the government will kill him if he doesn't say these things. That's what the Iranians tell me.
Wait, I'm trying to understand. So you're saying that the Iranian government will
Yeah.
murder this man if he doesn't come out with a statement saying that
Exactly
we
what
praise
I just
the
said.
Iranian attack?
Exactly what I just said.
What evidence do you have to support this stuff?
Well, the Iranians, I don't know if you've ever spoken to one, tell us over and over and over again that if they criticize the government and or don't praise the government, they're tortured, jailed, tortured, killed. They've killed hundreds of thousands.
I've heard the allegation of if they don't or if they do criticize the government, there will be punishments. But I've never heard an allegation.
Right.
I've never heard any allegation or evidence that substantiated saying if they don't praise the government, they're going to be killed.
Oh,
That's
okay.
Again, these are all moral arguments. Who cares?
Talking to people.
Who cares? Let them kill their people. Who cares? How does that push me forward? How does that add to my life?
Why are you interrupting?
Because no one cares about your Hasbara, Habibi. No one cares about Israel or
Nobody's
Iran.
giving Hasbara.
Do you know what, Norman? What
No
I
one
will say
cares.
is I've got to say,
Try
Rabbi
to stay on the topic, if any of you can. Wait, come on, I'm talking to Jack. Jack. No, I want everybody breathes, Aziz. You're not adding to the conversation by telling everybody to do what they do.
Look,
Go
you've
eat a
got nostrils for a
chapati.
reason. Use your nostrils.
What do you mean by that?
I'm saying, Norman, it's kind of hard.
Nobody's ever
It's kind of hard
big
to say,
nostrils.
like, oh yeah,
I've seen your
if
picture.
there's a punishment for not saying.
Who
That
cares?
would praise the regime on this attack.
All right, I understand. It's hard for you to wrap your mind around that one.
Who
No,
cares?
I mean, listen. There's Iranian members. Actually, no, just Iranians and Jewish Iranians who have been to Israel and studied in Jerusalem too. So
Yes. Yeah. Who's
it's
that?
not necessarily.
Can you guys go in PTR order and tell us why you care about that piece of info? Because I don't see why I would care. Who the fuck cares if the Iranis let their people protest or not? Why the fuck would I care?
That's not what we're talking about.
That's what I'm
course
getting.
not.
Like, why? So this is a moral argument. Like, essentially, this is a moral argument.
No. We're just talking about the situation of Jews in Iran. It's not a moral
Who
argument.
cares about the Jews in Iran, dude? Why would we care? Who cares?
Well, it's important to see which side they're on. You know what I mean?
Well, it doesn't. I don't think they're gonna take a side. It doesn't matter whose side they take. What matters is whose side do we take. And I would rather gravitate towards the one who works for my interests. I'm not here to talk about who kills who's the bad guy. You're all bad guys. You're all
like
sons
all
of
the
bitches, as far as
stocks.
I'm
Can
concerned.
somebody get a hold of like Jeff Bezos in here? Fucking hell.
Well, how about you
Oh,
hit my
listen to
ass
your
fucking
20
faggot?
minutes.
Now the truth of the matter is, these guys I have expectations from. I don't expect shit from the Iranis. I do expect you faggots, when I'm funding you with tax dollars, I do expect you to make me at least something.
The fucking transgender show.
So get out of your fucking tunnels and fight Iran. Fight Iran.
Right.
Make them close Hormuz.
Isn't
Make them close the
Netanyahu?
damn thing.
Does Netanyahu hide in a tunnel and there's bombs
Shit.
flying over?
Do heads of state protect themselves from missiles?
He goes to
What do you
Greece.
think?
He goes to Greece.
I have no record that he's not.
5-star hotels.
That seems to be
I'm not
made
sure.
up.
I'm not sure he
Yeah, he
ever went
flees
to
to
Greece, but his plane, and a lot of Israeli aviation assets went to Cyprus and Greece to park. But I don't think. I'm not sure if he went himself because I saw him walking through the rubble that was left that Iran made intelligence.
He's often
Yeah,
on
I
the front
believe the
line,
planes
isn't he?
returned. I believe the planes returned 2 days later. I think that was the official thing. So,
So in other words,
yeah,
you know nothing
he fled
again,
and then he came
Aziz.
back.
In other words, you know nothing. Show us that.
El Numo, man. How are you? How was your?
Baruch Hashem. I'm in synagogue right now, by the way.
Okay,
Hey,
can you
that's
tell
nice,
them drop
man.
the game?
That's a first.
Can you tell them?
No, it's
get
every day,
out?
several times a day.
Okay.
Hey, El
It's
Numo,
every day, several times a day.
how is Haifa right now? Is
I think we had one hit.
So you
I think it's perfect. He thinks they didn't hit the power plant. He thinks
All
they
over
didn't
in
do
the
anything.
country, there are 30 Jews, 30 people lost. You killed 5 Arabs in Haifa, actually, Christian Arabs.
Yeah, well,
No one cares about the death.
and you know another thing, I can't believe they blew up that synagogue too, man.
No one
I didn't
cares
see
about
that.
the death.
You'll have to show us that one. I haven't seen that one.
Who cares
Yeah,
how
we
many
get
died?
that.
Who cares?
Huh?
Yeah,
Who
they're not.
cares
They're
about
just
that?
blowing
Anyways,
up all
Israel has a lot. 1/3 of the Israelis are on welfare. Why would you kill them?
I haven't
It's
heard of
smart
that
not
one.
to kill them. Who cares about that?
It's
I
one
care
of the
about my
biggest
portfolio,
economies in the
respectfully.
world,
You
by
keep
the way.
talking about shit that no one cares about. I don't care who kills who.
Okay. Well, you're the
Doesn't
only
matter.
one who doesn't care.
Okay, it doesn't matter. It does not matter.
I
If 2
understand.
people die or if 2 million people die, it doesn't matter. What matters
Okay.
is how does it push me forward? Do you
I
understand?
understand. Sure.
Exactly. So
Good-
can we
good
please
point.
get it moving? Can
Very
we please,
funny.
for the love of God, if love of Hashem, get it moving. That's all.
So, Rabbi, So go ahead a little bit.
Normal. What is the plan? You got 9.5 million, give or take, sitting there.
The plan is to destroy their military capability. I know this is above your head.
Yeah, oh no, it was in Benjamin.
They did
Yeah.
target
Like that
a news station, though. I'm not sure that the news station is part of it.
Jack, are we gonna help these people out?
And normal.
Well, you don't know
that's
what
where
they
you and I
you
disagree.
don't know what they targeted, right?
That's where you and I
Well,
disagree
that's what they
because they
want.
shouldn't target military.
Well,
They
you
should
don't know
target
if
oil.
you don't know exactly where that was or who else was there, do you? All you know is you saw a TV station and a woman run off the screen, right? That's what you saw.
Oh, yeah.
You have to learn to understand what you're looking at.
You should be targeting
You do?
oil, not
So what did
military.
he say?
Yeah, I saw a lady who was on live broadcast, and
Right, run off the set.
explosion went off their building.
Right. So you don't know where.
Yeah.
So you don't know where or what or who.
No,
You don't know if it was
they
military.
reported on it, right?
Okay, what's the reporting? Tell us. What was the name of the
You
station?
can go read it, right? It was
Oh,
on my,
I can
it's
go
on my
read it. But you
timeline.
didn't read it. Okay.
It's on my time, like you told me. It's on my timeline. You can go. And
I
find
didn't
it.
say it's on my timeline.
That's what you told me when I asked you for
About what?
source about their protests and their demonstrations.
You don't know
You
about
told
the
me
protests?
There's protests by pro-Israelis though as well in Iran. I can show
Of
you one
course
of them.
there
His
are.
name's Meyer.
Yeah, have you
I would like to see that actually. Go ahead and link
Yeah,
that.
have you all seen the buildings collapsing? It's like Tel Aviv, like it's.
I think we've lost
Yeah,
two buildings in Tel
really
Aviv.
bad, man.
They're really struggling right now. You know,
Would you
I
say
don't think they are.
It's not.
What's
I
that?
don't know if I
Tel
feel
Aviv
bad,
is not as bad as Iran right now.
I don't feel bad for
Let's
people
keep
who
that.
keep
Let's
lying
keep that
about
high.
it.
You know what I'm saying?
Are you
You're gonna
sure
keep
about
acting like everything is fine.
torrent?
You lose sympathy. And you're losing sympathy and you're losing me money. Why the fuck do you do what you do, man?
Yeah, it's a pretty bad choice from Netanyahu, to be honest.
So how
It
about
was the
stop
best
attacking
choice he
military?
ever made. I think.
These guys
And
don't
why-
care if
why
they
do
lose
we,
military.
Iran had enough uranium.
El Nasr, why
Well, I
did
guess
by the way you decided
bombs.
to at this
15
moment go on a
bombs.
vacation to Greece?
You lot act like you want 15 nuclear bombs coming to your house. That's what you lot act like.
Do you really
That's
believe? Do you really?
You know what I'm saying?
Do you
Because
believe that, bro?
they invent, yes, and listen, Aziz, an independent investigation was opened up against Iran and their nuclear facilities. It was found out that they exceeded the amount of enriched uranium by what was it, like they have 90% enriched
They've been
uranium.
saying that for 30 years. You gotta
Yeah,
understand.
There is no problem with them saying that for 30 years. They were wrong for 30 years.
Yeah, they've been
But
saying
my
where
point
are
is,
they right now.
my point is, when the independent, because an independent investigation was opened up, and it was found out that
Who cares if
these
they
people
have
do
that?
have
Who cares?
more.
Why
more
should
than
they not have it?
They were only meant to have 40%. No, they are meant to have. They were
Based on
only meant to have
who decides
40%.
what they're meant to have?
Well, that was decided by all of the nations, you know.
But
So
all the nations can
take that up with them.
as far as I'm
Take
concerned.
that up with them. You see, that's the problem we're having there. And if Iran is already
What, you're
sending,
gonna ban physics in Iran?
missiles, right?
So
I
people
think
aren't
if
allowed
they
to
were
learn
able to
physics?
create a nuclear bomb, they would definitely use nuclear bombs too. So that's what we're trying to deteriorate through the
Why the fuck would I
Middle East.
Well, why should Israel have nuclear bombs?
Right.
Because we're sensible.
We don't trust
We're
them.
sensible.
Israel
You
is
see,
Yeah.
because we're sensible.
I want to
That's
be
how it
clear.
goes.
You know.
Yeah. If you're sensible, you would actually know who you work for. And you would
The
do
reason
your
why is
job
'cause
like
we're
that. You
sensible.
would take your job
You see,
seriously.
we
That's
can-
what you would do.
we-
Because
we
right
don't-
now you're like a Zelensky.
All right, Rabbi, man, I get.
Okay, and I'm telling you, you don't want that.
All
Right
right.
now you don't have the cards.
Hey, this Rabbi guy's hilarious, man.
With us, you start having the cards. Right now you don't have the cards.
But you see the problem with the colonizers, right? Is they don't realize that they're the ones imposing themselves on the rest of the world and trying to.
Where is there a
This isn't about
colonizer?
colonization.
That's what they do.
Where is there a colonizer?
This is not about colonization.
Tell us about a colonizer. I want to learn.
That they are the big bad wolves. They don't realize they're kind of like running around.
Tell us who's the colonizer, Aziz.
No, it's not looking good for Israel.
That's the problem.
I think it's looking pretty good. I think we're creating military history, to be
It's
honest
not
with you.
looking good. It's not looking
It's
good.
looking not good. It's looking
When
historic.
it's
It's
Just
very
let the airports open.
demilitarized the whole
Yeah,
East.
let the airports work.
Let the airports open and we'll see.
Yeah, the airport is closed.
It's not about the airport.
Let them
It's
open it.
about
Think of your airport as
finding
closed.
a bigger enemy and
The
winning.
airports are closed.
So Aziz, you want Khamenei
So that's what
to
your
leave the country?
criteria
Ben Gavir's airport is just.
Let me ask Aziz this. Aziz, you want Khamenei to leave? I mean, yeah, do you want Khamenei to leave?
Why is Netanyahu in Greece chilling with chicks? And
I don't think
doing
he's
content?
not in Greece. That's kind of
He's in Greece.
ridiculous.
He's chilling.
He's not in Greece
Doing like
anymore.
one person cocaine.
I don't see that he's been in Greece at all.
Yeah, he's back.
Who? Khamenei's not in.
We
By
know
the
he's
way,
in Greece.
he's in North Tehran. He's in North Tehran. Everyone knows he's in North Tehran.
Okay.
So again, do you want him to leave?
how do you
That's
know
the
where
question.
he is? How do you know where he is? Tell us.
Because they just released it. They just released it.
You do know that Israel knows where he is, right?
Yeah, Israel just released it. You don't know
make the issue much bigger. And I think you guys should grow a backbone and actually kill Khamenei. Why don't you kill Khamenei?
But they died in October.
Well, they need that. They don't have exact location. They
Well,
have
kill the guy.
They have the
So that we
wherewithal.
can
Why is
actually
your
close
leader-
Hormuz.
They know-
These
Hey,
guys don't
Rabbi,
get it, man. What a waste of time. No one
Hey,
gives
Rabbi,
a shit
hold on.
about your national interest.
Everybody's talking at the same time.
El Normo, why is your leader chilling in Greece? Doing
He's not.
They-
like a
they-
muskrat
He,
of a prophet?
he isn't.
They know the rough
Why is
location
he doing that?
of Khamenei.
Why are you chilling in Europe, by the way?
Why is he chilling in Greece
Why are you
while your
chilling in
people
Europe?
are getting slaughtered?
He's not in Greece.
God
man.
promised people they're getting slaughtered, El Normo.
All right.
I'm getting
Apartments are collapsing. F-35s are being shot down and shit. Why is he chilling in
F-35s,
Greece?
Because every good
Black
leader
Rabbi
needs a holiday.
here, and I just wanted to say, guess how I got out of Tel Aviv? I ran.
It's not that funny.
Hold on.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
El Normo.
why
El
can't you
Normo.
kill Khamenei? Can you tell me
Everybody's
why
talking.
Why can't you kill
Because,
Khamenei?
because we know the whereabouts of where he is, meaning we know the general
So
location.
why can't you
We
flatten
just
that
don't know
area?
the. Because we know the general
It's all
location. We haven't found the specific location. So we know he's
how neither of
we
these
know
guys
he's
are
in
Israelis.
Iran.
One is American,
We
one
know
is
he's in
English.
Iran.
Can we get to decision makers? Can we talk to someone who knows what's up and actually can do something about it? Because right now it's not looking good.
Dropping like
Let's jerk some more off.
It's looking very good, actually. I think.
No, it's not looking good because Khamenei is still alive, Hormuz is still open. But what's good?
Okay, we got it.
Stock
Yeah,
exchange
you
is
talk
gonna
more than a
be
woman, man.
shooting.
Shut the fuck
Until
up.
Hormuz is not closed, you're not doing anything. Man, eat
0.1%
my ass, you
here.
fucking cuck. This guy is a total cuck. I'm just letting you guys know. Ludwig is a cuck. Okay,
I'm your daddy.
so
Okay,
as
I'm
long
your
as
and El
Hormuz
Normo's
is not
daddy.
closed, you're not doing anything.
This one
Right, it's just raining rockets, man. It's raining rockets.
God bless
Shalom
Rising
Shabbat
Lion.
Israel.
You know what I'm saying? God bless Rising Lion. That's all I've got to say. Because hey,
What did he say?
if we left it for
Operation
2-3 more
Rising
weeks,
Lion.
yeah,
Hatorah, listen here. Listen, Ben Gavir's airport is just about to be set up right in the middle of the Gaza Strip.
Blah, 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 blah. Pick a juice.
Nice. I like
Fuck
that.
Gaza.
Look
Who
at this
cares
fucking-
about
Ben
Gaza?
Gavir International in Gaza.
You need to open Ben Gurion first.
We're talking to you about closing Hormuz, and you're talking to us about an
You need to
airport in
open Ben
Gaza.
Gurion
Who
first.
cares about Gaza? Fuck Gaza. Fuck Gaza. Who cares?
It's going to be the
cares?
international hub of the Middle East.
No one cares. We're telling you
care
to
about
close down
Gaza.
fucking Hormuz. Holy shit.
hey, Rabbi, we're gonna do that soon. And when we do that, I hope you're happy, man.
Do it. Just okay. I will be happy. Just get it done. Holy fuck.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, El Normo, remember this sentence? You guys read
These
this?
guys are as
No, I
useless
don't
as a
remember
knitted
you
condom, dude.
Remember that sentence, El Normo?
No, I
You
don't
always
even
say, you guys
understand your
read to
English.
surrender? You guys read to
struggling.
surrender?
Don't surrender. There's no surrender. There's no surrender.
Fight El Normo. Come on, go to
Yeah.
Tel Aviv. Fight Hamas.
This
Come on, man.
we're making military.
You're depending. You serve the military, right? You're the tough guy. Go
No,
to
you
Tel
should
Aviv.
fight.
Yes.
I'm just
Nothing tough, nothing special about
They
it.
need all the help right now, El Normo.
What's
No,
that?
they need to
Tel
fight.
Aviv is burning
Yeah,
like a torch.
everybody's
They need your help.
all the animals are feeding now. It's
They
feeding
need your
time.
help, El Normo.
Everybody's eating their bologna
Baruch
sandwich.
Hashem.
Hold up.
Oh, God is going to help you. Go there.
All of it's feeding time at the zoo.
It would be stupid for
Feeding
Yeah,
time to
one
the
at a time.
virgins,
One at a time.
the virgins at
Now
the
that
zoo.
Rabbi is gone. One at a time.
It'd be stupid for him to go to Tel Aviv to
So
fight.
guys, so I have a question.
Nowhere to
I have
be
a
seen
question.
in Tel Aviv.
I have a
Nowhere
question.
to be seen.
I have-
Yeah.
Guys, I have a question.
Yeah, but no. If it's a question that you're going to answer yourself,
Right, I have a
point
question.
in asking.
You don't get to question my question.
Yeah.
That's not how
Yeah,
that
what's your
works.
question?
So I have
Yeah,
a
we do
question.
get to question your question.
They're chosen people. They're
There's
in line.
question,
Once
the
I
question
ask
about
you,
your question.
once I ask
Yeah.
my
What's the question? What's the question?
So I'm gonna ask.
Yeah, comes from.
I'm gonna ask the
Yeah.
question.
Then you answer it though.
I'm gonna.
You answer
Yeah,
your
Norm,
own
can you
question.
just be quiet?
We're gonna see if we know how questions work.
Norm, can you just be
Don't
quiet?
get triggered, Aziz.
You're
Don't
getting
be triggered.
senile.
You're gonna be
Let me
okay.
just answer my question.
Don't,
You're getting senile.
but don't be triggered though. I don't want you to get
Norm is
upset,
getting
Aziz.
the dementia's kicking in. Norm.
All right,
Dementia's really
don't get
kicking in.
triggered, Aziz.
But
Don't get
have
triggered.
magnesium.
Someday maybe you'll even see
Take your
a country
vitamins.
outside of England.
Omega 3,
Okay.
Norman. Yeah.
How's the
Just,
grooming
that
gangs
will help,
today?
right?
What's the
So,
update
yeah,
on the
anyways,
grooming
like I was
gangs in
saying.
North England?
So yeah, let me just. Yeah,
We wanna hear.
just got the haircut right now.
Yeah.
Very well groomed.
I want to hear.
So anyways, let me ask my question.
Okay.
So
All
this
right.
is my question.
Is it about the
Yeah.
grooming gangs in England?
No, I'm about to ask the question. Can you just stop speaking? No,
I got you.
come on.
I'm listening.
No, come on. I know you're European and you have this.
Well, actually, I'm American.
So listen,
I know, but you shouldn't have dropped out of school. Then you know that America's not in Europe.
Norman, anyways.
Huh? What?
You're feisty for a Polish man. So let me just answer
Right.
my question.
Well, I'm
Where
feisty
was
for
I?
an American. Americans are feisty though, Aziz.
You are a
Americans are
feisty
feisty. Well,
You're
more than a
spicy Polish,
Pakistani? Are Americans more
spicy
feisty than
Polish man.
Pakistanis? Aziz?
Spicy Polish.
Are Americans more feisty
You're
than
like a
Pakistanis?
I want to actually have this conversation. Can you answer that question?
Yeah.
What's that
Who's more feisty?
He can't control himself.
Americans
You know, he's
or
terrified of you.
Pakistanis?
He's scared of you.
All right.
Yes, I'm terrified of you.
Yes,
Right?
go on.
Settle
What's
down.
the question?
Settle down, children. Let's settle down. Okay.
Take a bath
So I
today.
have a question. No,
Don't
just
forget.
breathe. Just breathe, you know.
Oh,
You've got
it's
about
okay.
5 years
It's all
left on Earth. Like,
Are you
going
going to take a bath? Promise me you'll
Don't
take
go
a
out
bath
like
in
this.
some way.
You've got 10
Promise me you're gonna go to Tel Aviv.
Promise me you're going to take a I'll be in Tel Aviv
Can I ask my
shortly.
question? Can I ask my
Aziz, you need to learn to ignore people, bro.
Yeah, I know. You
That's
just
right,
went
Aziz.
from though, right?
Yeah, but just ignore it.
Normal, come on, man.
Ignore it, man.
Yes, difficulty with
Normal.
it. What's your
Go
question,
fight, go
Aziz?
fight for your people, man. Like they have like
Okay,
people
thank you.
trapped
What's
under
your question,
buildings.
Aziz?
So
What's your
this is
question?
my question. This is my
Yeah, what's your
question.
question?
What are the lyrics to the song? And it goes like this. Something like, I lost my telephone, I lost my telephone. And you guys sing it a lot, and I don't know what you guys sing. If someone could just tell me, it's like, I lost my telephone.
Yo, Jack, can you put
What are the lyrics?
Pikachu in the audience like he needs to be medicated or muted?
Pikachu, do you know this song?
Yeah, this is the song before they go down. This is the
Yeah,
desperation.
they sing this song. It goes like, Bareto Hashem, I lost my telephone, I lost my telephone, something like that. So what is the name of this song? And could somebody tell me the lyrics to the song? It sounds catchy.
As I'm doing my dishes, I'm watching buildings collapsing.
Everybody
No,
just
normal. Tell Aviv, I don't think the real estate is good anymore. I don't think that.
I have a feeling you're right, Ludwig, you know.
What's that? You
Tel
don't
Aviv
think,
looks
you
like,
don't think the real estate in Judea and Samaria is very good?
I think the real estate in Tel Aviv is not at its best right now.
I think
I mean, what do you think is going on in Tel Aviv?
Shalom Shabbat.
What do you think is going on in Tel Aviv?
I'm looking at footage as we speak.
Is that a way of you saying you don't know, Dum Dum?
I'm looking at it as we speak. I'm looking at my tablet, and it's
Right.
it's
So try to see if you get the question. Say it again.
Are you looking
What
at
do
your
you
tablet
think?
or are you
Hang on.
tapping?
What do you think is happening in Tel Aviv, Dum Dum?
It's terrible
I'm
out there.
watching it as we
Tell
speak.
the
You retard. I'm watching it live.
Tell the room. Yeah. What are you seeing now? See if you can answer. Go ahead.
So bad.
What do I
So
see?
bad.
Yeah.
This guy's an idiot.
What do you see?
So
Dum
bad.
Your
Dum?
mom
So bad.
tonight again.
That's it? That's what you have?
Well, she's overweight, so that's quite a
I
lot.
see Iran's
All
on
right.
television being fucked by your mom. I really do.
Terrible. It's terrible what we're seeing, you know.
Terrible.
It's terrible.
Too terrible.
What are you seeing, Aziz? Tell the room.
Apartment complex is completely collapsed.
What's that?
Decimated.
What's that? Say it again.
I'll say it again. I said apartment complex is completely collapsed. Nothing
Okay, where?
Say that again?
Good. Where do you see that?
Yeah.
Tel Aviv, you deaf fuck.
Okay. No, so you see one apartment, a complex or a building?
Your mother is a building. I'm
A
talking about
complex
complex.
or a building, if you know the difference.
Your mother is a building.
A complex or a building? Which did you say?
I don't know. You determine.
You
that.
don't know. Okay.
It's
you
hard
don't
to
know,
say.
it's
There's
fair.
nothing left of the building.
So it's fair to say that you don't know what you're seeing.
Well, there's nothing
Okay,
left
I
of
get
it. It's hard to say what it was.
I get it. You don't know what you're seeing, and you don't know what the difference is between a building and a complex.
Oh my god.
It's hard
You
to
just
see
talking
what it was, El Normo. It's like
Okay.
decimated.
What
You
is
can't
now,
make it out anymore.
Here's a way you can tell. At the bottom of the screen, it says where it is. Try that.
Tel Aviv, you
Okay,
damn
where in
fucking
Tel Aviv?
camel.
Okay, great. Where in Tel Aviv? Tell us.
On your mother's left shoulder.
So you don't know. Okay. Would you know Tel Aviv if you saw it?
Well, I gotta be quick because there's about to be nothing left of it.
So is that a no?
You
You
don't
don't know. You don't
What
even
is the
know where
woman?
Tel Aviv is. Okay. Do you know of anything
You
in
guys-
Tel Aviv? What's the example of something that's near Tel Aviv?
You guys both.
All right.
This is my ritual song.
And you know
My
what's
victory
sad?
song.
Did you see what they said?
Dum Dum and ZZ are the two smart.
Let me do a little beat for you, Normo.
Is it possible that this is why you live Is it possible that
Little
this is why
song.
you live
Oh, Barack and Hashem. I lost my dirty phone.
Bro, Aziz, man, shut up.
I want to play. I want to play Jack. Can I play your song, Jack?
I love that song.
Go love that song.
Jack, you
Play the
attract the
song.
dumbest people.
I'm gonna dedicate this song to Israel.
Barack.
Here it comes. This is especially for you, El Normo. The buildings that collapsed in Tel Aviv.
They left, man. Oh my
No,
god.
they never leave. They never give up.
They will
I'm
be-
gonna do just like 20 seconds, whatever, right? Otherwise, it's.
Listen, notice
I'm
how
gonna
they
put it.
were-
Otherwise, it's gonna become just disingenuine. Is the word I'm looking for.
But Ludwig, notice when
Yes.
Normo is gone, you know, they're civilized. The world becomes civilized, you know?
Wait, El Normo's gone?
Bro, I've been civilized, bro. Don't do that.
No, I'll give you that. I'll give you that. But he,
Why did he leave?
I don't know.
We got Pikachu.
He's relatively civilized, somewhat.
This one is for you, Pumalu. Never give up on Israel, you hear me? You go there and slaughter some more innocent women and children. Come on. Pumalu, Habibti. Man, I swear to God, I've never seen this small amount of Zionists in the history of ever since October the 7th. Ever since the last 3 days or something. I don't know what that is.
You know, Ludwig, I would respect the Zionists if they just simply said, look, you guys look a bit ethnic, you know, we're white and we just don't trust you. You know,
That's not what it
scare
is.
us.
That's
You
not.
scare us, and
That's not
so
what
we
it
just
is.
don't see you as like completely human. We have to be honest.
That's not what it
Maybe
is,
you
bro.
live a little bit differently, and so we're gonna stop pretending it's about morals. We don't really want to free Iran. Why would we spend billions freeing Iran? That's not bullshit. What we want to do is kind of, they've got a lot of oil, and we're kind of afraid that they might get rich. So
Aziz, I was by the way, I was not joking when I said like entire buildings are like complete, like beyond repair, like done, destroyed completely. Just go on Twitter, just type in Tel Aviv, and you'll just,
yeah, Ludwig, I've seen it. I've seen it on Sky News, Channel 4.
I don't want to sound weird or something, but I'm 45 years old, and I woke up, and my third leg was like harder than the Iron Dome at this point.
That's
I
a
was
fact.
Like, maybe too much information.
That's a fact.
Get excited.
Wow. What I want to know, yeah, is why can't Jews live there?
Live where?
Satan promised it to them.
They always did. They have. They lived when it was Palestine. The problem is now that everybody else can't live there. This is the problem, bro.
No, there's Jews. I mean, there's Israeli Arabs that live in there. There is Israeli Christians that live there. That ain't true. You know what I'm saying? Because we know that there is Israeli Arabs and Israeli Christians that live there. in Israel. Haifa that just got bombed by Iran is one of the most populous of Muslims that are Israelis. So how can that be true? Explain that. Explain how we have no problem with Israel, but the problem we have is that the Israelites,
By the way, that's
Israel
not a true statistic.
doesn't
Palestinians
allow.
are like 5% of Haifa right now. Most of them got kicked
No, I'm saying
out.
Muslims.
Most
I
of
didn't say
the-
Palestinians. I said
It
Muslims.
doesn't matter. The majority of
It does if we're talking about
live in
percentage.
cities. Majority of Muslims in Israel live in cities in central and the north, and they have majority Muslim, big majority Muslim.
No, I'm not tired.
Where the fuck did Eleanor go?
I mean, my point still stands. Are they not legal citizens of Israel? Do they not have the same rights?
They do, but they don't have any protections. They don't have any defense near them. They don't force these people to make bunkers, or when they build these permits, or when they build these homes, they don't force these homes to be built with bunkers either. Whereas in Tel Aviv or Jewish cities, they'll force them to.
Well, to be fair, I don't think it is Israel's jurisdiction to tell people to build bunkers in their house. Because really and truly, Fatah is meant to be the one controlling those regions when it comes to those communities. That's why that's why they set up.
No, this is in Israel. This is in Israel. These are Israeli citizens.
I know that. My bad. I spoke about something else. You're right. Please forgive me. Say that again? No, I'm all right. Thank you. Yeah, my bad. I spoke about something else by accident. You're right. Well, I think to each their own. I would say if they build bunkers, they'll be safe.
Do you know what it is, bro? Do you know what it is? It's like the world is watching, and it's like it seems like there's always like a moral argument for everything that Israel are doing, and it's like we're watching. It's like, bro, it's like dystopian, but I don't know if you know what that means, right? But it almost doesn't add up. It's like we're watching brutality in the name of peace, bro. It is like it's kind of deranged.
That had to happen though. Because it had to happen.
Because if
it
that
had
has
to
to
happen.
happen,
No, listen, hold on.
no, because
let me tell you why I say
that's what you acclaim the Ayatollahs.
I'm saying it has to happen for the same reason it had to happen for Egypt in the first war. Remember, Egypt went to war with Israel when Israel destroyed all of their air bases, their plane bases, right? And they came into the land of Israel. They jumped over the border, started warring.
No, but
right?
Listen,
When Israel, real quick. I want to show you the realities of war, because this is the reality. I'm not talking about what we could do, what we think should happen. I'm talking about the reality. They went to war. They lost the war. Israel captured Sinai.
But I'm not talking
about
historically, bro.
Just real quick, get my point, because I'm going to bring this same point to today's time. Israel went to war with Egypt. Egypt went to war with Israel. Israel won that war and seized the Sinai Peninsula. Egypt said, well, okay, let's talk peace. Let's do a negotiation. Let's write a treaty. Okay, Israel said, okay, if we do this treaty, let me give you back this land, and that means you cannot attack me. Do you see the point? That's why what happened? It was given back to Egypt. They gave the Sinai back to Egypt for peace. All right, cool. Even though we warred, and I got this land from you fair and square, I'm going to give it to you for peace. So when we do same thing, let's bring it back into the future. Let's bring it back into the future a little bit. 2006, Hamas was elected as the government officials of the Palestinian people, mainly the jurisdiction of Gaza, because Fatah was still running the West Bank at that time. Now look at this, right? Jews were living in Gaza, correct?
Correct, yeah.
Correct. What did the Jews do?
What do you mean?
What? What did they all do?
They left.
What? They all left. Not a single Jew lives in Gaza right now, right?
Right, yeah, that's because they had the Jews.
Why did they do that?
Because they had an option. I'll tell you why. Let me tell you why. Not for peace. Because
Listen, look, this is what the Israeli government said.
Let me answer.
The Israeli,
I'm
just telling you from our side.
No, but you're not. But you asked me a question. Why did they go back? I'll tell you why. Because they had a state that now was recently created, that neighbored them, yeah, and they were able to go there and get immediate citizenship. The people in Palestine were not able to do that.
No, wait, no, brother. This is 2000.
Does that make sense?
No, that doesn't. No. Aziz, that doesn't make sense.
Anywhere
No, wait,
in the
hold on.
world,
If you don't mind,
anywhere in the world,
let me just make a
go
quick
to Israel and get a passport, bro. You can
that doesn't.
France,
Do you know why
Germany,
that doesn't?
Bangladesh. It doesn't matter. If you say you're Jewish, they give you a passport. The math is massive, bro.
But the reason why that doesn't make sense is because we're talking about 2006, 2005, when the state of Israel had already been there for a good 40 years already. So why did the Jews, after 40, they could have left 40 years ago from Gaza, but they didn't leave 40 years ago. Why did they leave Gaza in 2005 and 2006? Why was there a mass exodus?
You say they left, but they control the airspace, the water flow.
Yeah, they have to. They have to.
Yeah, right. So they didn't
the airspace,
bro.
No,
that's like me saying to you. That's like me saying to you. Oh,
none of them live in Gaza.
That's like me saying
you
grounded.
None of them live in Gaza.
That's like saying you're grounded, but you got freedom. You're not. You ain't got freedom because you're grounded. Bro.
No. The reason why. Do you want to hear the answer? Do you want to hear the answer? The reason why the Israelis control airspace is because if they didn't control airspace, a lot of those missiles that are being targeted at Israel from the Houthis in Yemen, from Hezbollah in Lebanon, and from Hamas would have catastrophically destroyed Israel. That is why we control the airspace. It's a very simple, smart thing to do. Like, I'm not going to tell the people...
It's also illegal.
Don't control. No, it's not. Every country controls their own airspace.
That's not your airspace.
That is because in what was it?
40,
you have in 51 we became a state. I'm not talking about Gaza. I'm talking and I know what you're talking about.
You control the airspace
about that. Do you know what the Oslo Accords are? Do you know what the Oslo Accords are?
Yes.
Does the Oslo Accords permit Israelis to govern the airspace of Gaza?
But the Oslo Accords...
Does it
give the right? Between Gaza, bro. The Oslo Accords are not including Gaza.
Yes, it was. It was between Gaza's prime minister at the time before he was assassinated. So, they literally, the prime minister of Gaza before he was assassinated signed the Oslo Accords with Yitzhak Rabin. Right, in 1993. They signed this. This is why in West Bank, it's not like Gaza. Why? Because in the West Bank, they actually uphold the Oslo Accord. Gaza don't want to uphold the Oslo Accord.
They don't. No. You got 700 checkpoints, bro. It's not like they.
And that was a part of the Oslo Accord. Hey, bro, look up the Oslo Accord. That was a part of the Oslo Accord, sir. The whole ABC areas in the West Bank was a part of the Oslo Accord, sir. The checkpoints and the military structure that is in the West Bank was a part of the Oslo Accord. So I bet you should go and look at the Oslo Accord and all of the stipulations.
Oslo Accord, yeah, it doesn't deal with the borders and the settlements, bro. It's just basically saying it gives somewhat of autonomy to the West Bank. That's it. It doesn't.
No, it does. It does. It deals with the borders. The only thing it doesn't deal with is policies that the Palestinians want to make for themselves, and that's about it really. And also policing. They were said that.
So what about illegal settlements in the West Bank, bro? Tell me about that.
I'll be real. When you say illegal settlements in the West Bank, I have to see what you mean, because according to the Oslo Accords, most of the places where Jews settle today are eligible for them to settle.
Sorry, but that's not true, bro. Like I said,
this is why Hamas is fighting.
These people are Jewish. These people are Israeli Jewish, right? And they're settling in the land that the Oslo Accords allocated to the Palestinians. So you're not allowed to do that, bro. That's like me being French and going to Germany and just putting a house there. You can't do that, bro. I
would have to see that because I
don't have a German passport. So why am I allowed to do that? And on top of that, the military is endorsing it. They're standing around watching us set up tents and houses. And they don't mind. They're expelling the people from there as well, these villages. There's 22 new settlements that have been planned in the West Bank. The West Bank belongs to the Palestinians, not Israel. Why are they allowing it? make 22 settlements that actually still
What part of the West Bank belongs to? What part of the West Bank belongs to Palestine?
Palestine, the West Bank and Gaza is Palestine, bro.
What part? You see, there you go again. So you clearly haven't read the Oslo Accords, because not all of the West Bank, not all of the West Bank is Palestine.
It's a fact, bro.
I'm saying to you, when you look at the Oslo Accords, sir, not all of the West Bank is Palestine. That's not true. So, the only.
Wait, hold on. From the West Bank, and I want you to tell me how that all the West Bank doesn't belong to Palestinians according to Oslo Accords. Enlighten me.
Because Oslo gave the jurisdictions of A, B, and C, right? You know the A, B, and C? You know what that is?
Yeah, I live in A, but that's not what Oslo did. That's what post-1967 Israeli occupation of the West Bank did. It wasn't Oslo.
Well, I would say you should go read what Oslo did. Because that was the proposition that they both came up with.
Right.
So,
Oslo
until you show me different,
Jerusalem to the Jews, West Jerusalem to the Palestinians.
There you go. See that, Aziz? You see why I'm asking? Wait, hold on.
It gave the borders of 1967. Can I finish?
Yeah, you can, but I just want to point this out to Aziz, because Aziz didn't know this.
Listen, it gave borders of 1967 to the Palestinians. What does borders of 1967 means? Jericho, Ramallah, Nablus, Jenin, Tul Karam, West Jerusalem. There is no A, B, and C in those.
They've all been seized. So.
There is no A, B, and C in these. A and B and C are occupation results. Plus, why do we look at Palestine from an Oslo Accord perspective? Like, are you a European United Nations official? I don't understand. Haifa is Palestine. Akka is Palestine. Jerusalem, the whole of Jerusalem is Palestine. And if you don't like that, you can move to Poland or Ethiopia, bitch.
So, Aziz, you see what I mean? When I asked you the question, what was given to them in the Oslo Accords, the brother here said it himself.
But we're not living by 67 borders, bro. It's been seized, bro.
Well, because we're not dealing with. I agree with you. Hold on, sir. I agree with you. We're dealing with 1993 borders. Oslo Accord. I keep on saying it. Oslo Accord was 1993, sir. It wasn't 1967. This 1967 was the Yom Kippur War. So all the territory that was seized during that time period was because of war, which is a legal seizure. If you go to war with another country and the other
World War II,
hold on.
Post World War II, you cannot grow your borders post World War II. Does that make sense? It's illegal, right? We made the law. We made the rule.
Not for that. Not for that area there. Definitely not for that area there.
No. For anywhere in the world after World War II, no matter how the conflict goes, you cannot reinstate land. You cannot seize borders. You cannot adjust borders post-war. You have to return it to the rightful owner afterwards.
So then why don't you return the Temple Mount to us in Jerusalem? Because you know before the
what do you mean return? As in like you can't get.
I'm gonna show you. You know, before the new Yeshuv in 1948 came from Poland and all of the other countries, there was something called the Old Yeshuv, and the Old Yeshuv lived in majority of Jerusalem. It wasn't the Palestinians. Go and look that up before you even respond. Go and look this up. Look at the information, because they lived in majority that area. It's called the Old Yeshuv.
Brother, are you in your bunker or are you outside of it?
Bro.
Yo, can you repeat what you said? I didn't hear about the Poland living in Jerusalem or something.
Yeah, the Old Yeshuv. Majority of Jews that were living in Israel during that time of the Old Yeshuv before 1948 were Jews in Jerusalem.
That's not true, but okay. And that's not to deny that there was Jews in Palestine or not. Yes, we did have a Jewish population in Palestine, which they refer to themselves as Palestinian Jews until Zionism came. But to say that majority of Jerusalem was oven dodgers, that's a complete mistake.
No, I'm saying maybe you misunderstood. I'm saying majority of the Jews that were in Israel were in Jerusalem. So like they weren't in other cities. They were mainly in Jerusalem. You get my point?
Actually, no, they were in Hebron. The majority of the Jewish population in Palestine was in Khalid, Hebron, they call it today.
So why is Hebron run by? Wait, so then let me ask this question: Why is Hebron a Palestinian area then?
It's not actually. It's occupied, and the old.
Oh, Jesus Christ! But you see, you know how it's funny because your answer is it's not. It's occupied by Jews. But remember my question. Remember what you said before. Before it was occupied by Jews, mostly Jews lived in Hebron. If I'm gonna say, all right, no. So because they left, the Palestinians can take it over, yeah?
No, we didn't take over. They left and joined the occupier state. So it's their fault. I don't care where they go now. Where are you
See,
from?
this is the game.
Honestly,
That's the game right there.
First of all, what's your name, if I may ask, and where are you from?
Zaire.
And where are you from?
I'm from the UK. I live in the UK.
Like which city in the UK?
London.
Okay, and the population of the biggest population of London's people right now, let's say it's Nigerians, tamam? And then Nigerians are living there, and then you have Muslims, and you have white British people, and all these living as well. And then China decides to come and occupy London. You know what the Nigerians do? They go like, fuck all of y'all, we're joining China. So, and they live with China to Bristol, because it's the capital of the new Chinese settlement in London. How is that your fault to call London British? I don't understand.
I don't even get the point you're trying to make.
Yeah, because you're dumb.
Of course you don't get it.
Maybe you could just reinstate it again instead of calling me dumb. Okay, maybe you don't.
You know what it is, bro? I'll be honest. Like, we can sort of try and go over minor details, but some of the leading experts in the world when it comes to even just Human Rights Watch, UNICEF, all of the non-profit organizations, all of the Holocaust analysts, the scholars, the people that are professors in university, anybody that doesn't have a dog in the fight, people that are completely neutral, even Holocaust survivors and children of the many Jews, many Orthodox Jews, typically they will favor the Palestinian narrative. Typically, when you look at the Israeli narrative, there will be select individuals. They will belong to certain groups. So it will be Ashkenazi Jews. It will be evangelical Christians, or it may be Indians, or there's or Iranians that do not agree with. So the pro-Zionists fit into a very small box of types of people, and then the miscellaneous is literally everybody else, bro. And that's alarming, because that means that they have a dog in the fight, and that's what allows them to overlook some elements of what we're seeing here. The reality is, too many people are dying, and if you can hit a man in his bedroom in Tehran, fucking 15,000 miles away, then I promise you can not kill 50,000 children in a place without an air force, a naval base, without control of food, water, electricity, and you've got drones flying above them with heat vision, night vision, thermal,
I feel what you're saying.
Technology. So how did 40,000 children people die?
50,000. 50,000.
It's shocking, bro.
So it's shocking. And I will give you, because I've got some friends that are actually in the IDF, like my brethren Yoav. I haven't spoke to him in about half a year, man. I hope he's not dead. But yeah, like from wow, why would you even wish death upon someone, man? That's crazy.
Oh, he's a soldier. He signed up for it, so we don't care what happened to him.
Yeah, well, see. All right.
I hope he dies.
Bro, he signed up for it. He don't act like a bitch now. He's the soldier.
All right.
So the death of him is a potential possibility.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, I hope he hasn't died. So, like I was saying, when I've spoken to him and some others, even when you look on the news, if you look on a neutral news channel, for example, was it 4 weeks ago? I think it was 4 weeks ago. So I remember looking into it 4 weeks ago. They blew up underneath a hospital. They managed to avoid the hospital this time, right? But they blew up right in front of the hospital and they killed Sinwar. Sinwar was the leader of Hamas. What is Sinwar doing underneath a hospital? How are you meant to kill someone who is a militant who is living underneath a hospital?
I swear to God, I'm not sure if you're an actual Jew or you're a troll.
No, I'm not even trolling, bro. Look this up. Look, Aziz, look this up. Ask Google, where was Sinwar's body found?
Yeah, please ask.
It's gonna tell you under a hospital.
No, don't answer on behalf of Google. Listen, Aziz, go on Google right now.
Are we talking Mohammed
The
Sinwar?
location of Sinwar's death.
Oh, Yahya
I want you to PTR it, please.
Because I know Yahya was found on the ground, like in a building.
Yeah, he was literally in a building throwing a fucking
In a building,
chair.
like second
There
floor.
was literally images released by
There's videos
Yahya
of it,
to
yeah.
confirm that. We saw the images.
The drone
like,
videos of it, yeah.
Yes, the drone videos, the still images when he was martyred, everything we saw it. Like,
Yeah.
nobody can fucking
He was
say
on the
come.
he was on the chair. We all saw him die.
Look at this. Look at this. I'm gonna put the BBC link in as well. This is from the BBC.
Lane, really?
Yeah, this one's from. This
I
one's
think
from
they're
the
talking
BBC.
about Mohammed Sinwar. You know, I think they're talking
Yeah,
about
Mohammed Sinwar. Yes.
Yeah,
And,
not Yahya. Yeah. But I mean, you just can't trust the Israeli government. You know, they buried 14 aid workers, you know, with their trucks and said that they were, you know, and then we found out to be alive. We just can't. They shot 300 rounds at Hind Rajab. You know, we can't trust.
Baby.
The amount of doctors from England that went there and said the overwhelming amount of children we had seen with gunshot wounds was unbelievable. They couldn't believe it. The doctors could not believe the amount of people they had to treat with gunshot wounds, and they had no anti anesthetic to when they had to perform surgery on them. So these are not like things we're making up.
Well, now I don't know what the fuck your name is. It's written whatever that shitty language is, but you're gonna have to face a bunch of different countries. Just recently, China landed its military plane in Beirut, in Lebanon. I think America is gonna pull out. First, they have their dick gonna pull out. I think America's gonna pull out. Yeah, they have their dick in Israel long enough. Now they're about to come and they're gonna pull out. And it's going to be a very fucking bad time because China is not going to allow Israel to get into their vicinity and challenge their superiority in the fucking region. That's not going to happen. Then you've got Pakistan and countries like Pakistan, you know, rogue nation anyway. Then you've got unidentified aircrafts flying into your country, bombing your naval bases and getting out without you even detecting them. It's going to be a fucking shit show. If you think Iran is alone and you're going to have any form of military superiority over Iran because they're alone, you're wrong. No, I think we have military superiority because of the tactics that we have used. For example, bombing their military sites, getting rid of their air defense system. Their air defense system is not out. It's already back up. You know that, right? Well, it will be out soon. If it's back up, I don't know. Maybe it is. If it is back up, then it will be out soon again. I have no worries about that. I'll be so real. And the Iron Dome is doing very well. From what I've seen, the Iron Dome got blown up recently. Yeah, it has definitely, and they have many Iron Domes, so I'm not too bothered about that. So they've even got something called the Laser Dome. They may bring that out. Who knows? But why are they not bringing it out? Tel Aviv is getting bombed. They should bring it out now. I don't think they should bring it out. I'm gonna be real. No, really. I don't think they should. People are getting bombed, bro. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, it'd probably be a good time, bro.
No, I don't think it is. I think they're gonna develop some more stuff on it, and then they're gonna develop it while they're getting fucking bombed. Right. Well, we've already got it. We've already got it, but we wanna develop it so it can cast more than one beam. We've got it.
Use it.
So, man, we don't want to use it. We don't want to use it. We know what we're doing.
Keep on saying we, and I'm so sorry if this will sound a little bit too much. But bro, if you go back to Israel, they will put you where the ghetto terrorists are. Like, you will be killed the first second.
Say that again.
If you're in Israel today with your skin color, they will put you where my neighborhood is. They will not put you where Tel Aviv is.
Do you know why they wouldn't? Because I'm Jewish. I'm practice
No,
Torah.
they would, Habibi. They would. Look up Israel's treatment.
Like, for
of
example,
black,
you see the rabbi.
They put them in the
They
front
probably
line.
sterilize you.
You see the chief rabbi that I speak to. He lives in Jerusalem right now, and he's black. So I'm not too sure. I've heard a lot of Muslims try. I've heard a lot of Muslims try and say this. Oh, these Israelis, they don't like you, black people or black Jews. Or even my uncle yesterday when I was talking to him. Even yesterday when I was talking to my uncle, he was trying to tell me.
I didn't say they don't like you. What I'm saying is that it's something I experienced myself living there. They put you where we are, and that means that they consider Palestinians to be terrorists. So they put the people who cares the least about. So they put black and brown Jews to attack Palestinians. Go there and experience it for yourself. I encourage you to do that.
When I make Aliyah, I'll do so.
Don't say we, because it's not built for you, even if you're Jewish. This is a settler colony that was built for...
It is built for me. It's built for me to keep Torah. That's why there's...
Hopefully he doesn't get the
There's yeshivas everywhere. There's synagogues everywhere. The reason they are building these things in Israel is for Jews to go and worship.
It's a secular state, bro. It's a secular state.
I have no problem with that. I agree.
Ashkenazi.
It's a secular state.
Yeah,
I mean, I live in a secular state right now too.
And you're not Ashkenazi European, so you won't
I'm Sephardic actually, so technically I am.
But you won't be prioritized as an Ashkenazi, and that's the reality.
They'll probably sterilize you.
I doubt that.
They did. There's actual evidence of this. They sterilized black people. Go look at it.
Yeah, it's a fact. The Ethiopian Jews were sterilized. This is a fact. This is not.
Yeah.
I know that's a fact. And that was happening. That was happening during a certain time period where these Jews didn't think the Ethiopians
that anyone would
were actually
find out.
Jewish. No, they didn't believe. No, hold on, Aziz. Stop. See, this is the rhetoric that I hate. It's not so people wouldn't find out. They were doing it because they didn't believe that these Ethiopian Jews were actually Jewish. That's why they was doing it. Even though that it is wrong, that was wrong. Don't get twisted.
So they fucking sterilized them.
They were. I'm a very honest guy. They were being sterilized. Don't get twisted. They weren't.
But
they
think
were
about
given
that
certain chemicals.
Think about
so
that.
They would. Bro, that happened in the UK. That happens in the UK, bro. That happens in America.
It's also colonizer.
Wait, who's being sterilized in the UK, bro?
My brother, you do realize a lot of abortion clinics are in black neighborhoods, and they're
even if that's the case, who's defending the UK? UK is also British.
Hold on. Yeah. I'm saying it happens. I'm saying there is a small demographic of people that will do stuff like that. For example, trying to stop people from having children. It happens in the UK. It happens. British people do.
Abortion is one thing and sterilization is another thing.
Exactly.
Like, completely different.
I don't think it's completely different. And you know why I don't think it's completely different? Because it's like...
I think they're sterilising Quran at the moment. It's all being sterilised.
Oh, look at the building in my PTR. It's a bitch. So look at what's happening to you.
That's a full quarantine, that one. That's a full quarantine on the whole block.
Hey, that bomb that hit that building, yeah.
They raped Tel Aviv last night.
It didn't even.
Look at Freddy's picture, bro. Come on.
That is true. Ben Gavir's
like 24 hours.
It's gonna be in Gaza Strip. Right there.
Literally 24 hours before Freddy's picture. There was a gay parade on that street. And now
you ready for it, Susan?
Yeah,
good. Ready for it?
Yes, Aziz, I'll say another thing too. You're right, it is a secular state, it's a democratic state. And when they have these gay parades, I think that's against Torah. And I think what just happened in Freddie's PTR might have been judgment for that. So I have no problem with bombs landing in Israel. I swear to you, you think I'm playing? I don't have no problem with bombs landing in Israel.
They would probably kill you for saying that about them.
That's fine, they could kill me, but I'm just telling the truth. If that happened in that area, I'm telling you, it's probably because they had some gay motherfuckers walking around there. I'm just being honest.
But they're gay everywhere. They're gay everywhere.
Hey, I'm just being honest.
That's funny.
Wait, listen. I'm just being the reason why the temple was destroyed in 70 AD was because they put idols in the temple. So God said, "Let me destroy it." He destroyed it through the army of the Romans. He can destroy places like that place in his PTR because there's gay people there. He could do that. There might be a gay person sleeping in that house, and he said, "Yeah, let me take out this whole house." He might do that. So I have no problem with that. That's why, you know, I don't really play those games right there. You know.
But don't you think they made a
So you're happy that it happened. So you're happy that it happened.
I'll be. Hey, listen. If anyone had, say that again.
Don't you think they made a mockery of like Israel, like in a way, like they're referencing the biblical Holy Land, right? But then look at what they've made of it, bro. They think that's like it's disrespectful, bro.
Yeah, that's because they turn it secular. I think if they turn it into a religious state in 1948, then none of this would have happened. Still, I'm gonna just keep it honest. I think it's because they went secular and democratic.
Bro, it's the gayest place on earth, bro. Right?
But Judaism as a religion is secular. Like your religion.
Nah.
And I'm so sorry if that's offensive. Like I don't. You know what? Like if you're a Zionist, fuck you. I don't care about your emotions. But just as a Muslim, I don't want to disrespect other religions. But Judaism today, like you have secular Jews, and it's majority of Israel. You have even the religious Jews. They justify weird shit like biting on babies' penises. So I'm serious.
That's another propaganda.
It's not.
There's propaganda.
No. They cut the foreskin of the babies with their teeth.
It's propaganda. No, they don't.
That's not propaganda.
No, that's not fact.
Listen. They cut the foreskin and then they suck the blood. They suck the blood. They don't bite it off.
And they don't call us
Yes, because that makes the law better.
Like, what the hell? They say he bites it off. Yeah, you think a man's tooth is strong enough to do that?
Wait, 1 second.
Yeah.
Is that what rabbis be doing, cuz?
Yeah, rabbis.
They be doing it. Wallahi.
Yeah.
Well, next time I see a rabbi, I'm doing a hate crime. I swear that.
No, well, they don't. Don't do that because they don't. They don't do it anymore. They used to do it when they didn't have the suction devices that we have now. We've developed suction devices where you don't need to do that anymore.
Wait, bro. Genuinely, I'm not trolling aside. Is that actually a Jewish is that actually a Jewish practice?
They were doing it,
Yeah, that was a Jewish for certain Jews. Yeah.
Little man really getting, yeah.
But like again, the reason why he done that was for medical reasons because you can't leave the blood just pouring out. You have to suction the blood.
For medical reasons.
Yeah, but
It's a full advantage on it, cuz.
first of all, they're still doing it, and there is the records on it. Second of all, they gave babies herpes, and wallahi,
some rabbis have done wicked things like that. Some rabbis. You can't say all. You can't say all.
I'm not saying
some
all.
rabbis.
I'm not saying all, but like that's still happening.
That happened. You can't say
this guy's got a London accent. Do you live in Israel, bro, or do you live in London?
No, I live in London. Next year, I'm gonna do Elia though, and hopefully I'll reside there too.
I hope you get kidnapped over there.
But what's your ethnicity, bro? Are you what?
I hope you get the chance to
South Africa.
I'm Jewish.
No, but I'm saying your parents, bro. Where they from? Ethnically, like geographically.
My father is from Trinidad, and my mother is from here.
Really?
Yeah.
I never heard of no Jews in the Caribbean, bro. That's crazy.
You didn't know it? Nah, that's crazy. Yeah. A lot of Jews fled to the Caribbean in 59 or something like that. The Spanish Inquisition. It's when the Spanish...
In fact, I'm not even surprised. You've not been fleeing since history began, to be honest. Kind of done.
Exactly, and now we got to flee back home. You know what they say, birds of a feather flock.
So what happens when they ask you to join the IDF?
I probably would join still.
You think you're prepared for that sort of combat, though? Let's be real.
I'm more than prepared because I think morally we have the high ground when it comes to why it's happening. And to be fair, I probably, if I had any position, I wouldn't join the IDF. I would probably try run for president.
Brother, you need to put the fucking black mamba that you're smoking down immediately. Brother, you're smoking mamba. You're not even smoking cannabis, my brother. You're smoking mamba. This guy. You are smoking straight spice, my boy. Straight spice. I said I'm gonna run for president.
Yeah, I might do. I mean, I don't have, what's the problem with that?
Brother, do you even run your household now?
Nah.
So how can you run a country you don't even run your household?
I mean,
this guy's Somali, man. Brother, this is the problem. This is the problem, bro.
What Jews control my household? I'm confused.
I'm saying, do you control your household? Like, you as a man?
Yeah.
That's running a household and being president. Running a household is a microcosm event in comparison to running a country.
100%.
Not even a country, a state.
A state. You gotta have national intelligence. You gotta have navy. You gotta have, and then you gotta make policies that actually are beneficial to everyone that lives in your country as well. I definitely understand. I think I understand it more now that I've been watching Netanyahu. I've been watching Netanyahu strongly. And I agree with some of his policies. Why I disagree with some of his policies.
Aziz, come off you. Aziz, come off you, brother. Come off you. Nah, what am I hearing, bro? I've heard some crazy shit on here, yeah. Genuinely, I just come on it to chat shit, my brother. What you're saying?
It's crazy.
You're from the Caribbean. You're light skinned. You're from the Caribbean. You're Israeli, bro. It's always black ones.
It's a mad cosplay, bro. It's a mad cosplay.
It's always the black things. A man said, I'm gonna run for president.
Yeah, what's wrong with that? What, you think I shouldn't run for president because I'm black?
What would you think if they say I want to run for president in Somalia? As a white Palestinian, like out of the blue, you're like, I want to run for president in Somalia.
I mean, you don't have citizenship there, so I don't think I would love it.
Listen, Goyen, you have citizenship in Israel.
Not right now, but next year.
Where's the embassy in London? Is there an embassy in London?
Fucking retard, man.
Yeah, it's next to because how am I'm a retard because I said I'm gonna go back and get citizenship.
Yeah, bro.
If I go to America, hold on, let me ask you this, bro. If I go to America, hold on. If I go to America, Slims, yeah, and I ask them for citizenship, am I an idiot then?
No.
I'm only an idiot when I want to go get citizenship in Israel, right? I know.
Yeah, but bro, you're also an idiot if you go to, I don't know, like China and get citizenship. Brother, you're gonna land in the airport.
Suck your mom.
Bro, but
you're gonna land in the airport. They're gonna see your name is Jerome, whatever. They're gonna tell you.
My name. Well, do you know what's my name? You don't even want to know my name still.
Hey, is that Freddy Cougar?
No, they won't. Hey, you lot have a weird view of Jews. Zaire, my name is Zaire.
They're gonna have the divine right.
Black Jew.
Bro, why do you not always have this weird view of Jews?
Listen, bro.
Listen. When you go to Israel, they're gonna have the divine right to rape you, so you know it.
Like, why do you think that?
What the hell?
So as a black Jew, do you not believe there's a slave trade of Jews?
There was a slave trade of Jews, yeah.
So that's basically you then as a black person.
No, I'm not.
There's always the
Yeah.
No, I'm Sephardic, so we weren't enslaved, so.
Oh, what are your parents? They're Christian.
Wait, hold on, I'm confused. Are you Caribbean or are you?
This guy's an Israelite. The fucking fake Israelite.
Yeah, because then you're setting high expectations for yourself. You essentially become your own God. Because when we look at Christ, Christ suffered on the cross. He was humiliated. You know, no one wants to go
fear
through
and
that.
humiliation.
I get what you're saying, but I'm talking about things are gonna get hard in the moment.
Yeah,
when you're going through those things in the moment,
There's no fear and humiliation.
when you're going through those things in the moment, you're gonna question things. You're gonna be like, how's this happening to me? You know, I don't know who I am. You know, you're gonna have those questions. Those are natural human feelings. You know, we can't truly find ourselves. We can only know what's revealed to us and follow that.
Like right
That's
now,
it.
sons, listen to me. Like right now, I can walk in front of a train and get hit and have no fear. That's how I'm feeling right now. You can literally set me on fire and I will not be scared, is what I'm trying to say. Who am I?
Well, you're clearly fearless. You can start there. You're clearly fearless in that sense.
You have to think deeper a little bit, sons. Like, these are surface level things that you're saying.
No, but it's not surface level though. We all trying to. Everyone says they're trying to find themselves, but when you go down that route, it can be dangerous. So serial killers will tell you they found themselves.
Why would you be scared? Why would you fear it?
Well, I don't fear anything. You get me? Let the Lord's will be done. You know, I'm not scared. But I'm saying, once you start going down your own path, and if you think you know what's best, like a serial killers find peace in murdering people, and they feel like they found themselves. Rapists feel the same way. People commit atrocious acts. Some people do great things as well, and they say, oh, I found myself. But it's all subjective.
Why are you trying to make it negative?
Pardon?
Why are you trying to make it negative?
But it can be negative.
So you fear it.
It's not fear. I'm just saying some
fear
people
it because
say they found themselves, but
if you reference
they do atrocious
psychopaths, murderers, then you fear these things.
No, because they're just wrong. They're morally wrong. But people find literal peace in doing those atrocious acts, and they have the mindset, oh, I found this is who I am. You know, some people are tapped in the head. They think doing stuff like that's good for them when it's not. And I just said to you, on the other hand, people do things that are very good. You know, they help charity, they help homeless, you know, they help people, and then, oh, I found myself. But it's all subjective. But that's why we have to go by what's given to us and what God says to do and to obey. Because we don't know better than ourselves. That's why we have a creator, that's why we have the Lord. And the Lord's used humans to carry out his will.
But I want to find a way to think better for myself.
What would you say, like, you tell me you want to find yourself, like, what would you say is bothering you the most right now?
I can't pinpoint exactly who I am.
Is it like an identity crisis?
No.
Is it, okay, it's not that. Do you feel lonely?
No.
Do you, like, okay, I'm not sure what to say to you
If
right
anything,
now.
I isolate myself from people right now.
I mean, okay, so you feel like you're finding it hard to bond with people?
No.
No? You just want to isolate yourself?
Yeah.
Has someone hurt you?
Nope.
I'm running out of things to say, Zori.
Exactly.
I mean, if it helps you.
Like, I'm running out of thoughts.
I was gonna say, like, obviously, I don't know how you're feeling inside.
I'm running out of ways of finding myself. I can't pinpoint.
Like, we all got our own battles in life, right? So I can't say that I know what you're going through. But, like, if it helps, like, whenever you want to talk, or if you want to message me, I'm here for you. So, like, yeah, I don't know what else to say, to be honest with you. But, like, you got someone to talk to here, and I'm sure there's others on here on the app that will be there too.
I'm not suffering.
You know, I know judgment.
I'm not suffering.
Hmm?
I'm not suffering at all.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know them, sorry. I'll be honest, it's just...
Yeah.
I'll be honest, actually don't know
I
what
don't
to
know
say.
either. And that
Yeah.
is the suffering of suffering.
That is a suffering in itself. You get me? But like, have you been questioning Shiism right now? Have you been?
No,
So what's bothering you?
I can't identify.
All I can say is life is a mystery in itself, right? You know, we're not meant to know it all. You know, and sometimes things happen, suffering happens, like just in general. And we don't know why it happens, but there's a purpose for it. You know, if I go back to my life, you know, there's many things in recent times before I found Christ, which happened to me.
Don't go outside of my body. Is what I'm trying to tell you. Don't go external. I'm trying to go internal, like swim in my blood.
You can only find that by obeying Christ.
I'm trying to go get in a ship, go inside my own soul. Like when you go in the ocean, you explore. That's what I'm trying to do, and I can't find it.
Just don't do psychedelics.
No.
Don't do psychedelics. There's some things that we're not meant to know. You get me? And that's for our own benefit. You know, Eve, when she ate the fruit, she gained a lot of knowledge, you know, about what was out there and the evils and everything there was to know, but she wasn't meant to know it. You know, there's some things that we're just not meant to know. You know, life is a mystery. We have our journey. Whether it's suffering or whether it's something that's pleasing to us, you know.
I don't know. I just pray that the light of Lord activate my soul.
I'm gonna pray for you. Yo, John, what's up, bro? What's good? Oh, yeah. Hey, Zari, I'm gonna go join FL's room, though. Come join.
upon the records, which is different from households. That's number one. Number two is this. Even this narrative, there's about, I think it's about 1,500 blacks that owned slaves